Orlando's skyline and the tourist corridor could be looking up. If the world's tallest roller coaster gets the green light this week, developers say they'll be creating a record-breaking must-try attraction on International Drive. Today, on Central Florida Spotlight, the fight they are facing with a high-powered neighbor. Hi, folks, and welcome to this week's edition of Central Florida Spotlight. Today, we're focusing the show on International Drive, I-Drive, one of our area's most important tourist areas and really a key economic engine. Lately, we've seen plans for the future of I-Drive, what it should look like and what it should not look like. One of the major debates is centered around the proposed Skyplex attraction and its roller coaster, which is billed as the world's tallest. But that claim has some powerful neighbors around I-Drive grumbling. Today, I'm joined by Josh Wallach, who is the developing partner of this amazing roller coaster, modern marvel of engineering. It's not off the ground yet, Josh. Do you think it will?
Yes, we do. We think it's a great project. It's been received well all over the world. It's been in the news for about 18 months. We've gotten over 750 million views on social media of our point of view video that we have for the skyscraper, and the whole world is waiting for it. The whole world is waiting.
Except for one key neighbor, Universal seems to put a lot of friction countywide, citywide against you all. Why is Universal fighting what would be an attraction for all of Central Florida?
They have a business to protect. They've made it clear that they've invested billions of dollars in their resort. They are close to International Drive. They're not on International Drive with their resort. They're in the city of Orlando. We're down in the county. And they have a large site on International Drive, so they will be entering the International Drive community soon with an yet to be announced.
The Wet and Wild property.
Correct, the Wet and Wild project. And we hope they do a beautiful hotel there. We hope they do something fantastic because, again, it only adds to the area. It only brings more people to this side of town. And, you know, we like to see people going up and down International Drive, visiting all the attractions. Obviously, most people will end up at Universal Studios on this side of town. But, you know, we have to make sure that, you know, we can share the customers because we have 62, probably it's going to be 65 million people this year. And if, you know, there's
enough business to go around.
There's enough business to go around for everyone. There's enough.
Let's talk about this structure. You said it has millions upon millions of views, and that's just the point of view feel of the roller coaster. We're showing some of those images now, and it's impressive. Talk about it. I think it's something like 570 feet tall.
Yes. What it is it's called a polar coaster, and the name of our polar coaster is called Skyscraper. Mm-hmm. It is built right on the old Fun and Wheel site, which is set back from International Drive, and then we own 3 parcels in the front, including the Perkins on the hard corner, which is going to be our frontage coming into the entire Skyplex complex. The bottom of the tower is wrapped in an entertainment center that's about 300,000 square feet. Mm-hmm. So there are so many things to do, and it's really the only indoor facility like it in Orlando. And it rains, there's lightning during the summer when it rains every day. It's really a great option to go to. The tower and the ride itself is a modern marvel. It's an incredibly beautiful structure, reminiscent of the Seattle Space Needle, with a roller coaster wrapped around it. It's really a building. It's got elevators and stairs, beautiful glass elevator ride that goes up to the top. And at the top of the tower, we have an observation deck, and we have a beautiful rotating restaurant where you'll be able to see all the fireworks shows and look out and see the city beautiful.
Tallest structure it will be if built in Orlando/Orange County.
Correct. It will be the tallest structure. Yes.
And to get it off the ground, you have to get through some steps which are facing you in these next few days. Talk about those and the challenge that you face to get this approved and get it on the books and get it started.
Well, I think everybody's very happy with the site. I think the important thing to realize is what it took to put the site together was nearly impossible. We purchased the old Fun and Wheels property for Mangoes as a parking lot, and that's how it kind of all started. And when we got a chance to buy the Walgreens next to Mangoes, we made that our parking solution and decided to do something special over here. And that's when we got contacted about the the Polar Coaster and started to put together the whole Skyplex project. But putting together that site, buying that Burger King, buying that 7-Eleven, buying that Perkins, buying the bowling alley and the ice rink, getting some more land over on Canada Avenue, it really created this dynamic opportunity that allowed us to free our imagination, and free our architects and our designers' minds, and create this incredible facility. And this is really like the only place in the world that something like this should be built at the corner of Main and Main, International Drive and Sand Lake Road, and creating this walkable, it will anchor this walkable entertainment district that Orange County is visioning right now, because right now, as you know, everybody drives everywhere on International Drive. Some of the traffic and the congestion concerns that people have are exacerbated by the existing condition, not what we're visioning and what we're doing. What we're doing is urbanizing it and creating a dense parking garages, places for people to park, get out of the car and walk.
I was the MC for a big luncheon with the iDrive tourism area. It had all of the power players there. You were there. This was just a few days back. And there was also the unveiling, really, of more pictures of iDrive 2040 and how it will look. It's going to be much different down the road. It's not going to look like that congestion because of walkability and projects that you're proposing.
That's right. It's a multimodal approach. We're very lucky to have a staff in Orange County that is this talented and this visionary. The visioning plan has been put together over the last year. Everybody in the community was able to participate, whether you were on the visioning committee or not. People, I wasn't on the visioning committee, but I participated in each meeting. Several other property owners and developers weren't on the advisory board, but we participated. It was a monthly meeting. We've had 12 of them, and the vision is fabulous.
Very good. We've showed some of those pictures. It is a pretty interesting and intense project all of us hope comes true. Next up, we'll talk some more with Josh Wallach about the Skyplex project and find out more about this universal opposition to his attraction. That and much more when we come back. Welcome back to Central Florida Spotlight, joined again today by Josh Wallach, one of the developers of Skyplex, billed as the world's tallest roller coaster. In just a few days, county commissioners are scheduled to vote on whether to approve this project for iDrive. And Josh, as you go forward, you seem to be an optimistic guy. I mean, you've helped to buy all these parcels of land. That takes optimism, not pessimism, for the economy. Are you optimistic about this meeting and convincing those that have the vote to say yes to this?
Well, I believe that in my heart of hearts, that International Drive needs a renaissance, and it's going through one right now. We've seen it with iDrive 360. We're doing it right now with Mango's Tropical Cafe. But North iDrive looks nothing like South iDrive. It's almost as if you cross Sand Lake Road, you've gone into another country. You know, it's that different. The utilities are still above ground. They had no plan for anything. You see all the signs. They show some of those pictures where it makes it look like a really cheesy tourist strip. And this is our drive. This is International Drive. We have people coming in from all over the world. We don't want it looking shabby. We don't want it continuing to decay. So Skyplex becomes the catalyst for the rebirth and renaissance of North iDrive. Personally, we are adding to infrastructure. We're adding a tremendous amount of parking. We've offered to advance the much-needed pedestrian bridge on the intersection of iDrive and Sand Lake Road, which will move the cars through double time because they don't have to wait for the crosswalks. And we have people going north on iDrive. People will continue to buy up properties. We're seeing properties getting snapped up right now that were 5 times, 6 times what we paid per acre when we started buying.
Universal, speaking of sight, one of their arguments is that messes up their sight lines when they try to immerse their guest in this land of illusion to be able to see in the vista this huge roller coaster not too far in the distance. They say it messes up the experience for their guests.
Well, the thing is that if you walk through their parks, you know, know, they're right in the city. They're right in the middle of the city. And I'll say again, I love Universal Studios as a customer. I'm a annual pass holder. I bring my children there, and we love their parks. And I look when we walk through their parks, we're under dense tree cover. They have huge structures themselves. You can't see out of. They say that, you know, oh, you're going to see this thing from Diagon Alley. Diagon Alley is an alley that has 50-foot high buildings going fully vertical straight up, where you can only see the sky right above your head. So you can't see anything from Diagon Alley.
Mm-hmm. So as you move forward, do you think you have the votes?
Well, I would hope that when we go before the Board of County Commissioners, we'll make a compelling argument for this rezoning, that this is the tourist commercial district. This is in lockstep with what the vision is supposed to be. This is the entertainment district. This is the perfect site to do something like this, and we have the ability to do a $500 million investment there, which will create thousands of jobs. It will create millions of dollars that will fill the county coffers as far as tax revenues go. And International Drive booming is good for everyone, because the more money that the county can collect on iDrive, the more good it can do in the community, like what we have with the Dr. Phillips Performing Arts Center and the remodeling of the Citrus Bowl, etc. So we have more heads in beds. The more money that is collected, the better the county will do, and the less stress it will be on the property owners to come up with any tax hikes or anything.
Very good. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Best of luck at the big commission meeting.
Thank you.
All right, after the break, we'll be back with a look at iDrive's future as a whole. Will it look like the Strip in Vegas, or is there a way to plan for a tourist corridor that we can all use, appreciate, and recognize as distinctly Central Florida? We'll have that and more just ahead.
On the Skyplex, we actually like most of what they want to do from a retail function and so forth. We are concerned about the height. But that's not a competitive issue. It's a neighborhood issue.
Welcome back to the Central Florida Spotlight. We asked Universal Orlando to come on and discuss its opposition to the Skyplex project, which has become a big part of that development story. But unfortunately, no one from Universal returned our calls or emails. But since so much is going on along iDrive right now, we decided to continue a discussion about Central Florida's main tourism corridor and its future going forward. So I'm now joined by Maria Cherskari. She's the president and CEO of the International Drive Resort Area Chamber of Commerce. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
And of course, we have Alberto Vargas, Orange County planner, and you're more in the mix. I know that, Maria, you're not in a position to talk about Skyplex, but let's talk about planning and zoning, Alberto, when it comes to the Skyplex. Why do you think there were reservations there from P&Z?
P&Z had some general questions regarding the height, as well as the lighting related to the project itself. I think those general questions were presented and too early in the discussion process related to a PD process to be discussed at that particular time.
So what bearing do you think the P&Z will have on the December 1st meeting that we've talked about?
I think generally it's a very straightforward recommendation coming from Planning and Zoning to the Board of County Commissioners. The Board of County Commissioners takes all the information related to the application itself and a staff report, and they will make a decision right then and there.
Mm-hmm. So based on your knowledge of what's going on, and you deal with this on a regular basis with iDrive, what's your best guess as to what will happen on December 1st?
My guess is that my guess is extremely neutral right now. Staff has a positive staff report moving forward as a recommendation coming from staff to the Board of County Commissioners, and they would take the staff recommendation as well as Planning and Zoning recommendation, and then make their own decision to vote at that particular time.
Have you seen Universal get this involved in a project, and what do you make of their opposition?
I have not experienced Universal involvement in the past with this particular project and the caliber of this particular project. It's been an interesting process so far.
And I know from your vantage point you cannot discuss this, but it does show you how valuable a stretch of land this clearly is when you have Universal, Skyplex, and others really concerned about it. What's your take from the chamber?
Well, you know, the International Drive Resort Area Chamber of Commerce is just excited about all the growth that's going on International Drive. We have over $1 billion of new and planned developments. So it's a very exciting time for International Drive. We're thrilled with all the new developments and all the growth. We believe everybody benefits from all of that. So we're excited in general for all the activity going on International Drive.
Why would you think that iDrive is so hot, this boom with these a la carte type attractions that they're pumping millions of dollars? These aren't just tiny projects. These are major investments.
Absolutely. You know, International Drive has really transformed into its own resort destination. We have a world-class resort destination, over 100 hotels, over 350 restaurants, 900 retail outlets. We have the second largest convention center in the country. We are a bona fide resort destination, and I think people have all through the years, you know, seen that happen and want to be a part of it because success breeds success, and that's what we're experiencing right now on International Drive.
Alberto, from your vantage point, you've been tasked with a project, iDrive 2040, moving forward. 2040 seems like a long way away, but when it comes to planning and zoning, approving projects, it starts today.
Absolutely. And the great thing about that, Greg, is the fact that we have already received a very positive acceptance of the vision plan by the Board of County Commissioners on November 3rd. That gives us staff, the facilitators of this great process, a green light to continue to move on to the most challenging part of that process, which is the development of the code that will implement that visioning plan into a 5, 15, and 25-year time frame and phasing. Correct.
And for you, Maria, when you look at that plan, and we have some of those pictures that we're sharing with the public today, what do you think about iDrive going forward? From my vantage point, living here for 30 years, it seems to me to be a bit of a hassle to go down to iDrive with traffic, and this will change.
Oh, well, absolutely. And that's what this plan is going to do. And actually, through the years, International Drive has already evolved into an exciting resort destination that we're seeing more and more locals come to because we do have so many restaurants and so many attractions, not only the large theme parks that are second to none in the world, but we also have 23 smaller attractions that people come and visit. And this plan is going to be really narrowing down the future for International Drive and the mobility. Mobility will be key to this whole process so that people can come, park their car, pedestrian-friendly access to all the businesses, in a seamless resort destination that is second to none in the world.
All right, when we come back, we're going to talk about Orlando Eye, one of the new projects that has really come out of the ground. Will it be successful if other venues are not built? We'll have that and more on Central Florida Spotlight. Welcome back to Central Florida Spotlight, joined again by Maria Triscari, President, CEO of the International Drive Resort Area Chamber of Commerce, and Alberto Vargas, Orange County Planner. Again, thank you both for being here. We see that beautiful Orlando Eye from just about any vantage point in Central Florida. Has it done what its intention was to draw attention to iDrive?
Oh, absolutely. That now has become our iconic figure for International Drive. So it has been a great addition to the drive, and it's growing and it continues to grow now. So yes, it's been fantastic for us.
What are the concerns that you all have going forward to seeing this master plan pulled together? Because if you have resistance from the big power players, in this case Universal, possibly down the road, who knows, Disney, is it possible to see the future as you have it on paper become a reality if you have all this opposition to growth?
I personally believe so. I think this is one particular project directly associated to one sub-district of the study area. We're talking about a 4,000-acre general overlay study area. The convention center campus area is 400 acres. So one specific project is getting a lot of attention right now. you've heard the history about where staff stands in that regards, and you've heard the original level of reaction from Planning and Zoning Board. The verdict is still to come from the Board of County Commissioners.
Interesting. So we have Disney and Universal, 1, 2, etc. SeaWorld. iDrive in and of itself, it sounds like this rebirth is we want to be a major attraction, not just a road that has the convention center and a few shops for T-shirts on it.
We are our own resort destination now. You know, it's taken 43 years since the first hotel was built on International Drive. It's hard to believe it wasn't even planned to be a resort destination. It just happened to be the closest exit off of I-4 when Disney opened. But some very astute businessmen decided that we could absolutely become our own resort destination. And when the convention center was built on International Drive, it was a game changer. And that's what really made International Drive, people like Mr. Harris Rosen, decide to develop more and more. And other people came in and saw the same opportunities.
Certainly a lot of people down there, a lot of money. One thing is transportation, as you mentioned. Will we see some sort of a rail line from the airport or from the Sunrail bring people there so that they can walk those wider sidewalks and can enjoy it without having to get caught in traffic jams?
That certainly is in the dialogue level at this particular time. We have real international investors looking at the area, looking at the ridership, being attracted to that, and having specific dialogue going on right now regarding right-of-way agreements between Orange County and this investor that is talking about privately invest into a $400 million plus system that will eventually connect to the Orlando International Airport.
This is what I thought, that iDrive, so you have Disney, Universal, SeaWorld, and iDrive, and it'll be thought of in the future, if not already, as a destination in and of itself.
Is. Most definitely. And we're lucky the way we are centrally located, where we have SeaWorld on one end, Universal on the other, Disney less than 10 miles away. It's an incredible destination, and to be centered in such a fantastic location.
Should be great. We're going to look forward to it.
Yes.
All right.
We are too.
Thank you both for being here.
Thank you very much.
Happy Thanksgiving.
You too.
All right. And that will wrap up this edition of Central Florida Spotlight. Again, I want to thank all of today's guests. Josh Wallach, Managing Principal for the Skyplex Entertainment Complex. Maria Triscari, President and CEO of the iDrive Resort Area Chamber of Commerce. And Alberto Vargas, Orange County Planner. 3 powerful people who have a lot to say about the future of iDrive. And thank you as well for watching today. Join us again next week for another edition of Central Florida Spotlight. Have a great remainder of your Thanksgiving weekend, and take care.